It seems that the shock elite of Cadia are all but confirmed to be coming back to the tabletop. Let's talk about the return of the Kasrkin. Hello and welcome back to Warspecs Tactics, where today I thought we'd talk about Kasrkin, the Cadian pattern Storm Troopers, already very heavily rumoured to be making an appearance later in the year, but now all but confirmed by Games Workshop by this new rumour engine picture. I thought that in the video we'll just do a bit of a recap of who the Kasrkin are, why Games Workshop might want to bring them back, and then talk about what a release for them might mean. So in the background, the Kasrkin are basically Imperial Guard Cadian Storm Troopers. These models were basically the ones that you would use to represent stormtroopers of any description, back before they got a bit of a rebrand and became Militarum Tempestus Scions with their slightly more baroque armour and slightly different vibe. Prior to these guys, there were even some more ancient Imperial Stormtrooper minis. I believe a lot of them sporting berets, and maybe part of the design influence behind the beret heads of the Militarum Tempestus. I believe these Cadian Kasrkin Stormtroopers were ones that never actually made the transition from metal miniatures to Citadel Finecast, Games Workshop's own slightly dodgy attempt at resin miniatures, and I always felt that these guys were quite a lot more in keeping with the actual aesthetic of the rest of the Imperial Guard. Basically a similar sort of style to the standard Cadian shock troops, but far more elite, packing some fancier kit. And there really was and is a big love for these miniatures, resplendent in their carapace armour and rebreather hostile environment type helms. Compared with the slightly fancier Tempestus Scions, they just have a bit more of a practical and military brutalist look. No adornment on their armour, but they do have the distinctive jagged camo pattern design. Otherwise though, generally in terms of kit and combat doctrine, they do seem to be really quite similar to today's Stormtroopers. Armed with hotshot lasguns, packing a whole load of special weapons and things. I believe perhaps the only option that they didn't have was the hotshot volley gun, which I'm pretty sure didn't exist at the time of these metal miniatures. I guess the main difference to the Militarum Tempestus is that these were raised from across Cadia, and very much had their own structure and combat organisation. I feel like it's fairly obvious just from second-hand demand that Cadian Kasrkin are one of the things that are in strongest demand for the Guard, and do seem logically like they're a really good kit for Games Workshop to remake at least at some points. A lot of older and replaced miniatures just sort of fade into the background. Second-hand demand isn't really all that strong, people much preferring the new and updated kits, but the old Kasrkin are absolutely an exception to that rule, to the extent where it seems to be a semi-common thing for people to deliberately collect entire companies of Kasrkin, seeking out second-hand metal miniatures on eBay wherever possible. It is kind of funny that I think if you'd just had a Kasrkin army bought directly from Games Workshop and then just sat on it for a number of years, you'd probably make massive returns on your investment now. Typically, just in prices on the UK on eBay, they tend to actually sell for anywhere around £6 to £20 per model. The standard guys usually going for the lower end of that spectrum, and I believe it tends to be the more rare special weapon troopers that tend to go for the higher end. I believe they were sold in their own separate blister packs, so people didn't have anywhere near as many of them, and they're generally quite desirable to field with Scions these days, as what they do best is special weapon delivery systems. Games Workshop even did a made-to-order run of them a few years back, as you can see by this picture here. I can only assume that they must have been quite popular when they choose to do that. Maybe that's been one of the influences for why they're choosing to bring them back in 9th edition. In any case, from Games Workshop's rumour engine, it does appear that we have Kasrkin pretty well confirmed, though as I said, they've been strongly rumoured to be coming back in the Guard release this year for quite some time now. I did mention them in the rumour compilation video earlier on, but it's pretty fun to see something to corroborate that. This rumour engine picture shows an armoured arm clutching an Auspex. Always good to see more Auspexes here in 40k. But it certainly doesn't look like a Space Marine arm, the armour's far too square. The Auspex is a completely different style to the standard Space Marine ones, but perhaps most tellingly of all is the nice jagged two-tone camo pattern separated by a lighter line, which just absolutely screams Kasrkin to me, so maybe not the subtlest of Games Workshop rumour engine hints. In any case, I do think that the return of the Kasrkin is quite an interesting prospect. As Guard players will be well aware, Cadia is long gone now, destroyed by Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade that split the Imperium in two with its warp rift. Yet despite the destruction of their homeworld, the Cadian regiments do seem to be going very strong. It'll certainly be interesting to find out what's going on in the lore from the new Guard Codex. I'm going to imagine that the Cadian regiments will be settling on different worlds, maybe building up new power bases again. I've no doubt resolutely holding the line against the forces of chaos pouring forward from the rift, as they often have been before. In any case, with Kasrkin all but confirmed, it does kind of show that Games Workshop are fully supporting Cadia from now on. I certainly was wondering at the time, with the Fall of Cadia sequence, Colour Sergeant Kell killed and Creed abducted, I did wonder whether they might be teeing up a different Guard regiment to take centre stage for the faction, but it really doesn't seem so. They have revamped the Cadian kit somewhat with those new upgrades, and if they're releasing faction-specific Kasrkin as well, it seems safe to assume that Cadians aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Gameplay-wise, I think it's also quite an interesting prospect. It seems very likely that we'll get the new Guard Codex this year, along with the last ones from 9th edition, and I think it'll be interesting to see where Cadian Kasrkin fit in. Currently you have Standard Guard regiments, and then the Militarum Tempestus regiments. I wonder whether Kasrkin might be represented as a new Militarum Tempestus regiment to fight alongside the Cadians, or whether you'll actually just be able to field them with the Cadian keyword, and just have the same options, regimental doctrine, and everything else that the regular Cadians get. I guess maybe just like that Death Core of Krieg kit, it might be a bit more of an aesthetic choice over the standard scions. Maybe the actual models won't actually matter too much to Games Workshop. You can use either Kasrkin or Militarum Tempestus to represent your Stormtroopers, and gameplay-wise they might be really quite similar. Certainly should be fun though, it might well unlock a fair few more options. Finally, I haven't heard all that much about specific rumours for the Kasrkin kit. The only thing I have heard tell from one quite reliable source is that it might well be a kill team kit with a 10 model release, which would be a bit different to the standard Tempestus Scion kit at the moment, the one that builds a command squad or a regular Scion squad. Apparently there'll be plenty of options for bare faces or rebreather masks. I kind of hope that they give enough helmeted options if you could fill the entire squad as that though. I think it's maybe one of the coolest bits about the older models. And weapons wise, apparently nothing out of the ordinary, regular Scion special weapons and sergeant options, plus the option to take a Vox operator within the squad. All sounds fairly standard stuff and what I'd expect. I feel like a kill team release for the kit does make a lot of sense to be honest. Again, maybe like Death Core, Krieg or Eldar Corsairs, they're really quite a fun little self-contained little theme that you can explore within 40k. Something that Games Workshop really could make quite a big win on, with just one kit with a whole ton of options on it to allow for some fun customization. In any case, let me know what you think of the return of the Kasrkin down in the comments below. If they were released as a 10 model kill team kit, would you pick them up? And how good an option do you think they were for Games Workshop fleshing out the Guard further, compared with expanding to other regiments? If you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics, where I'll certainly keep the regular 40k videos coming, including any other news and rumours from the new Guard when they come out. Really looking forward to getting my teeth into the new Codex once we do start to get leaks from it. I've got several hundred infantry and a whole clutch of armoured vehicles just waiting in the wings. Finally, if you'd like to help support Auspex Tactics and keep these videos coming, I would just like to mention one way in which you can do so, and that's my Element Games link down in the video description. If you're thinking about picking up any Warhammer models and you live in the UK, Element Games is a pretty decent discount retailer. They usually give between 10 and 20% off Games Workshop's models, and if you buy anything from them after clicking the link in the video description, a small amount goes to help support Auspex Tactics without costing you any more whatsoever. Can just be a way to help the channel out if you were thinking about picking up something anyway. For people over in the USA, I do also have an Amazon link down there as well. That one works in basically the same way. Click the link, buy literally anything whatsoever off Amazon, and a small amount goes to help support the channel. Again, it doesn't cost you any more if you do so. A massive thank you to you guys who have been using those, it really does help out. Finally, a big thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.